Good afternoon, and now for something completely different. I say completely different, it's just a gear review. You've seen thousands of these before, I'm sure, but it's new for me. I may ramble my way through this and make a complete hash of it, but please bear with me, as this afternoon I will be reviewing this very fetching cherry red Immersion Research Devil's Club Drysuit. Before I go any further, I will specify I do get my Immersion Research gear at a discounted rate, so I have every reason to tell you that they're excellent. Or one very specific reason, I suppose. But I do have many reasons to tell you that they're good, and the price doesn't really come into it. Or discounted price doesn't really come into it. I bought Immersion Research gear before I got it for discount, and I would continue to do so even if it weren't discounted. I think their gear is excellent, and especially at the price point it comes in, it is excellent. So yeah, feel free to take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt, but equally you can also trust it. I really think the gear's good, and that's genuine. Cool, so the Devil's Club. This is Immersion Research's top Drysuit at the moment. It's their best spec in terms of breathability and waterproofness, but most specifically it is their most rugged suit, so it is the most tough fabric that they offer. That doesn't mean it's slightly heavier, but it's very hard wearing. I've had this suit for nearly 2 years now, and it is showing no signs of giving up the ghost just yet, and I'm someone who likes to scrape around on rocks. I do a lot of freestyle, a lot of rodeo, I like splats, I like pirouettes, I like moves that might cause me to come into contact with some rocks and take some scrapes, and this Drysuit has withstood all of that admirably and continues to do so. It really is very, very tough. So, in terms of features, let's start at the bottom and work up. Feet. Feet are important. Take care of your feet, they will take care of you. And this suit, you're able to do that. This has fabric socks. Immersion Research offer some suits with fabric, some suits with latex, and the arch rival suits have latex socks, or at least can do. And I'll offer the service to switch out the feet. If you prefer latex feet or you prefer fabric feet, you can get them switched on any suit. And there are obviously advantages and disadvantages to each. I had an arch rival with latex socks for a while, and yeah, they're very hard wearing. I'd say probably equally hard wearing to the fabric. I think the main difference is the breathability of latex. Obviously the latex causes, or can cause it to be a little bit clammy if you don't layer correctly. I was young and foolish and probably didn't layer correctly, and I used to find that my feet would get sweaty and then cold, and the rest of me would be fine. Whereas with fabric, it's all the same fabric. This is the same rugged fabric as the rest of the suit, and therefore all of me is breathing at the same rate, including my feet. So I prefer that. But, you know, you might like it a different way around. I don't know. You might like sweaty feet. Last point about the socks is they have these lovely ankle cuffs that you can close up, which is great for when you're wearing the suit, but also if you want your suit to last a longer time, you want to protect those feet and give them a longer life. Whenever you're storing them, and when you take it off, getting off the river, brush them off, brush off all the dirt, stick them in here, cinch it down, and protect those socks. Make it last longer. Okay, moving on up. Moving on up. We've got ourselves the lovely cut of the legs. I'm quite a slim person as it goes. I use a medium suit, although my legs would probably fit in a small suit. So yeah, sometimes do find that legs on dry suits, and this would be a case with any dry suit I wore, I think, not just Immersion Research ones. They do feel quite kind of big and baggy on the legs and really nicely cut on the top. But that's not a problem as long as I remember to take the air out of them when I get on the water. So get nice roomy legs if you're a person like me. the cut of the suits is really nice. They're the right length, it's just that width issue. So something to bear in mind when you're thinking about buying a suit is being careful about the sizing in terms of how you want it to fit, and maybe having to go a size up or a size down or whatever to get the correct fit on both your legs and your top. Cool. Up to your waist. Little Velcro flap hiding the wonderful P-zip right there. It's one of these YKK plastic zips, which is really solid and a really important feature if you want to have long and enjoyable, comfortable days on the river and not be worrying about the fact that you need to strip off the P. Then they have this waist closure with this little adjustable strap and cinch in the middle here with a buckle. On the older suits, so the double D suit, for example, which is the first IR suit that I had, that had a kind of sticky waistband, an elasticated waistband on the inside of the suit to keep it in place and stop it from riding down, which was fine. And in fact, initially I was really sceptical of these cinch closures because I thought you'd get loads of bunching at the front where you cinched it closed, especially for me who's quite skinny. However, having moved on from that double D into an arch rival suit and then the 7-figure and now this, all of which have had this closure, it is absolutely not an issue. I mean, I say I'm a skinny person and I really don't even notice any bunching at all, even when I scrunch it up pretty tight. It's not uncomfortable, it doesn't get in the way. The buckle itself is a non-impact, you know, it has no impact whatsoever. But it does keep the suit in place, which is great. So yeah, that's that. Speaking of sticky bands on waists, boom. The outer cuff is obviously, it's a kayaking dry suit, so it's got the classic double tunnel, so you can get your spray skirt in there, and they've obviously, I think, probably employed that same sticky material to create this sticky band on the outer tunnel with these lovely large tabs, Velcro tabs, for closure and to keep it nice and tight. And this thing is bomber. It really does keep the top half of the suit in place and snug and holding itself in place, I guess. Like I said, I'm someone who likes to compress and contort and stretch myself around doing freestyle moves and downriver freestyle and rodeo, and this absolutely holds in place. It keeps itself where it needs to be throughout all of that, which is great. It means that the old suit is going to stay comfortable and operating in its maximum capacity the entire time. Lovely. We'll get to cuffs and things in a second. One feature that I know this is a feature of most, I think, probably modern drywear. However, I just love it. Is these little drainage holes that you get around the neck, so that every time you roll up, you turn into a little sprinkler. Lovely. Cool. So this is obviously a rear entry zip. Again, large YKK plastic zip. So it's really flexible, allows for a nice range of movement. It's very low profile, it doesn't get in the way, and this really lovely grabbable handle on the back so that you can nicely, easily open and close it, which is excellent. In terms of the cut across the shoulders, I'm someone who, like I said, this is a medium suit. I'm a relatively triangular person, I think, and I find that the arms on this shoe and the shoulders are just right. They allow enough motion, they allow enough stretch, such that you don't find the gaskets on the wrist are moving, for example. So gaskets, let's talk about that. It has latex in the neck and latex at the wrists as well, and they each have these nice cone cuffs with no extra adjustment on them. I think they're called the volcano cuffs, if I remember rightly. They put them on. It's nice stretchy neoprene, thin soft neoprene on the outside, which means that it's super easy and quick to put on. If you're the last one at the put-in and your buddies are all waiting for you, you can have this suit on in like 30 seconds and be gone with no kind of faffing with extra Velcro enclosures. So that's excellent. Yes, Immersion Research Devils Club. Absolutely amazing suit. As I said, I've had this for coming on 2 years. I do not expect it to die anytime soon. It is really rugged, really hard wearing, waterproof, breathable, as much as you would expect from a quality piece of gear. And the design is simple, but it is very well thought out. So there you go. If you want to get one, get one. They're pretty excellent.